Hello students, I'll give you the tips that how can you score the best, how can you score above 90% and how can you be excellent scoring A+ in your physics subject. We will do it in 5 steps and trust me, if you follow these 5 steps then you will surely get a growth, you will get definitely about 90% in your physics and that is 100% surety that you will get. The first thing you have to do is planning. This planning you may be divided into a slot of 3 months plus 3 months and 3 months. So in the first 3 months you will go through the basics of all your NCERT book. You can plan them chapter wise and in the next 3 months you can do an overall revision of each topic, each chapter and each numerical, and in the next 3 months that should be your second revision. So that means in the 9 months before your pre-board exams or your preparatory exams, you have to finish your syllabus and do 2 revisions. Now come to the planning day by day. For each day planning, you have to write down a topic. That particular topic you have to achieve in that day. Make target, do efforts and do that topic. First, do that topic by looking in your notebook, go through the basics, clear the doubts. And in the second round, write it down by yourself. Try to write it down by yourself in the notebook. In case you stuck up, then look up to the book. But in the third round, try to make it by yourself. Then always study physics by writing down because that is the only way to do good in physics. The more you write, the more you excel. Another tip for planning is that look up into your 5-year paper initially in the very beginning. Not go to the papers at once you have done with your syllabus or with your revisions. That will not help you much. Initially go to a chapter and go to a topic and find out in the last 5-year paper where that topic was asked and in what form, and do it that day itself. So that will make you confident and that will make you more easy to score. And more important is to put your plan into action. Whatever you have decided for that day, try to complete within that day. In case if you're not able to do it, then try to compensate it with a day or two. And one more advice is that you can keep one day, like maybe Saturday or Sunday, simply lighter. So whatever you miss in that week, that you can compensate on Saturday and Sunday. But stick to your plan and follow it. Second thing is write. Because the only thing to practice by physics is only by writing. If you practice writing, then first you see in the book and write down the derivations. Then try to write it down. First step is see in the book and write by yourself. Second thing is try to write down by yourself, and if you get stuck up, take help. And in the third step, no help. You have to write it on your own. So make a notebook where you do the first derivations. Then take a rough notebook where you can do the 2 steps. You can do it with the help of the book sometimes or without the help. So use maximum papers, use rough papers, use rough sheets, use your own notebooks, but write down, write physics, write. Because whenever you are in the practice of writing, you will never get shortage of time in your exams because this writing practice will benefit you a lot. And it will pay to more than 60% of scoring, because if you know and if you are not able to write, you will not score good. So whenever you are scoring, then that means you should be good in writing. Make a rough notebook, get whatever you like, a pen or a pencil, and write it down as many times as you can, because the more you write, the more perfect will be you. So the writing is the only thing to make you a master in physics. Get up early in the morning. So you have to compensate between your formulas, derivations and numericals. So whenever you get up early in the morning, take a cup of your favorite protein shake and do your physics derivations early in the morning. Study the definitions, study the concepts, study the basics, and you will remember them throughout. Early morning is the best time. And even if you have a habit of studying late night, then pay the time to your numericals or practice sessions. But whatever you want to remember in the theory, do it early morning. Third tip is whatever is the formula you are studying each day, write down the formula in the back of your notebook. Make a register, a long notebook, and in the back side of the notebook, write down the topic and write down the related formula very clearly. Only those formula which are important and which are related to that topic, so you can quickly revise. And on the next day, when you are continuing with the second topic, just revise the formula of the first topic. So you'll always have a backup. Then our first tip is that if you're moving up to the second chapter, Then keep one day for the revision of first chapter. That is your plan backup. So whenever you are finished up with the second chapter, then your first chapter is already done. Similarly, you can continue that when you are starting up with the third chapter, you can keep one day for the second chapter revision. So now your first and second chapter are solidly remembered and you can easily move up to your third chapter. That is our fourth step. Now come to our fifth step. The thing is that physics is basically the combination of the mathematical part and the theoretical part. So whenever you are fresh, you are just in a mood to study all your theory. But whenever you are feeling quite tired or you are not in a mood to study but you want to devote your time to study, then do all the mathematical part. And for the theory, the most easiest way to remember theory is to correlate the things with the daily life. You can make certain formulas by taking the initial of the formulas and remember them, revise them while you're playing with a favorite game, while you're playing with your friends, or you're discussing with your friends, or you're watching your favorite showtime. You can also correlate to the practical, realistic thing, like if you want to remember for a solenoid, which is a hollow cylinder and a number of wires are wrapped around it, then you can look at for a thread. Like you can see in a picture, this is a normal thread we use for sewing. So whenever you see this thread, just remember that it looks like a solenoid. Then solenoid will be favorite and you can do it very well. Similarly, if you're finding it hard to study the electromagnetic waves, then you can study it as a combination of two S. One is a red S, alphabet S, which is written downward, and one is the blue S, which is written upward. So you can, this way you can always, the topic you want difficult, you can correlate it with the realistic thing and makes the physics more interesting. I will certainly give you a lecture on how to solve the numericals.